Hey, what's up, everybody? Today was the final shape reveal. It was like 45 minutes plus the post show. I'm going to try to break that down for you a little bit so it's a little more digestible depending on how much time you got. So, we're going to save the most spoilery stuff for last, so the narrative stuff, and we're going to be talking about other things throughout, starting with loot. I think this is probably the least spoiler area, but for legendary subfamilies, this isn't all of them. They said that there are more that they haven't revealed yet, but we have special sidearms that shoot tracking rockets. Their stats are based on sidearms and on rockets, so these seem like something cool to look out for. Special slot sidearms. Then we have auto rifles, support auto rifles, and I think they made it sound like other archetypes are getting supports too. But basically what a support is, it's Lumina without the damage buff. So aim down sights, you hit enemies, hip fire, you heal teammates. They showed an auto rifle, but they did make it sound like it was more than just auto rifles getting the support frame. So we'll move on to exotics now. This one is the final shape pre-order bonus. Well, not necessarily pre-order, but the deluxe bonus. Tessellation. It is in the energy slot. It's a fusion rifle, and it matches your subclass's damage type. So if you are stasis or strand, you can run 3 weapons that match your subclass type. You could already do that with light subclasses using osmosis, but now darkness subclasses can do it too. You can consume your grenade energy to empower it. Seems pretty cool. Then we have 2 things that they talked about for final shape, and they showed some concept art, but they seem like pretty just passing moment. Putting the power of a golden gun in a sniper rifle was one of the things they said. That seems pretty cool. Then the Traveler's Beam. And the concept art they showed made it look like a heavy, so maybe a heavy trace rifle type of thing happening potentially. Again, those 2 seem like they were just throwing things at the wall, and they had concept art, so I'm not sure if those will come with the final shape or anything, but they did talk about them. Then we have things that are confirmed. Kvastov, exotic Kvastov, probably a crafted weapon, I would assume, because it just fits with its identity from Destiny 1, where you could pick the massive grid of perks. And then Dragon's Breath is coming back. Big solar exotic rocket launcher. Should go heavy with the keywords for solar. And Red Death, which is coming in episode 1. They're changing seasons to episodes. We can get into that a little bit later. But yeah, those are the ones that they confirmed, and there will be more. Oh yeah, Red Death is going to be solar now, not kinetic. So there's that to look forward to, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be about it for the loot of the final shape that we know of. Alright, we're going to save narrative for last, just so you know, because that's the most spoiler stuff. But let's talk about the power rework. Of course, they're doing LFG this year, adding tags to it. The power level should be about 2k with the final shape, but they're adding fire team power, which is the average power of your fire team, and that's what you're going to be loading into activities with. They have said that Trials isn't necessarily going to use that. They might try it out, but they're hesitant because obviously you could boost people, like someone that has thousands and thousands of hours of playtime is going to have, a high light level versus the cheater that just opened up a new account. So, yeah. They are wary of that. So, fire team power probably won't happen in Trials. And that's kind of the power rework. Is it's going to be more communal, and a lot of activities won't have power levels associated with them. It's mostly going to be those higher level things like nightfalls and exotic missions, things like that. But a lot of things are going to have difficulties associated with them, and that's how that affects it. And with the final shape, we will see the end of seasons. So if you hate seasons, this might be good or bad. Honestly, we don't know much about episodes other than they're replacing seasons, and they seem a lot better. There's going to be three episodes a year. They're essentially seasons, but larger. They'd be more comparable to, like, during Forsaken, we had the annual pass, or maybe the $15 expansions from year one of D1 and D2. And how they're broken up is they're going to be about 18 weeks, and they're going to be split up into 3 acts. Each act is 6 weeks. They'll have a season pass with them, a battle pass, which starts at 100, and every act adds 50 more ranks to it. And the artifact expands with each act. And then you get a new artifact every episode. These episodes, they sound like expanded seasons pretty much, which I'm fine with. It'll probably be a better way to structure them, because the main pain point of seasons is how repetitive they got, and they are selling this as a way to experiment more with this style of content, but do it differently and not have it be as repetitive as seasons were, because seasons structurally had to be. So these are going to be standalone things. Like, the focus of the 3 episodes for the final shape are how the universe is reacting to what happens in the final shape. So yeah, that seems fine. I hope they're good. I hope it's better than seasons, at least. This is where we start getting a little bit more into the spoiler territory. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we aren't getting a new damage type, at least that we know of. That might be a reveal they're waiting till later, but I don't know why they would. They're adding more supers, 3 more supers. Each class gets a new super, different subclasses, all light-based. So Warlocks, you're getting a new Solar super, Titans, you're getting a new Void one, and Hunters, you're getting an Arc super. So, like, the supers that they changed and replaced back in year 1 of Destiny 2, you're getting new supers for those, and new aspects. So let's start with Warlocks. That's how they started. You're getting Radiance. Warlocks are getting Radiance from Destiny 1, no self-res. Specifically, they said no self-res. They're also going to make it to where you help your allies by giving them Scorch on their weapons. That might change. They're working on that, and they're testing it a lot, because that massively increases your damage through burn, damage over time, and ignitions. So if that part changes a lot in the end, wouldn't be surprised, but you have grenades that do a lot of damage and track and stuff, and then you have melees that do a lot of damage, have more projectiles. Super cool stuff. Glad to see that. Also, the aspect for Solar Warlock will be a Solar Buddy. Finally, the Solar Buddy. And it will, when you place your rift, hop out of you and scorch enemies and explode. Not as cool as Child of the Old Gods or Arc Buddy or Bleak Watcher, but it's fine. Next, we'll move on to the Titans. You get the most unique super you've ever gotten, honestly. It's really cool in my opinion. It's the Titans' first ranged, one and done damage super. You summon an axe and you throw it. It's super cool. It hits things, pulls them in, explodes. And then on the ground is an axe that you and your teammates can pick up and use. Kind of like Rise of Iron, how I had the Iron Saladin's War Axe. It's that, but void. Seems super fun, super cool, glad it's here. Your aspect lets you consume a grenade and block for your team. So it's basically the banner shield, but you just consume a grenade instead of popping super. And then Hunters, you get a new Arc super, kind of similar to Shadow Shot in a way, like Quiver, but you grab your Arc Blade, you throw it, and then you blink to the knife, grab it, swing it around in a circle. So it's kind of like a vortex frame sword, and you blink, and you do a bunch of stuff. It seems really cool. I think they said you get 3 throws of it. Then the aspect is probably the worst one of them. It's a heavy melee where, maybe not heavy melee, but you jump upwards, spinning arc staff around in the air, amplifying your teammates. That's all it does. It's not spectacular, honestly. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it's a 3 fragment slot aspect. That'll help bring it up. Not sure on that one, though. Anyways, let's get into the spoiler territory. So, it seems like this is going to be the biggest patrol space we've gotten. They didn't say that. It just looks pretty big. But design-wise, it's pretty cool. They said it's super linear, which, yeah, it kind of looks like that. But the design of it is, it's us versus the Witness. We have our side, they have their side. And the closer you get to their side, the more witnessy and darkness it looks. And that's pretty cool. Versus our nostalgia-fueled dream trip on our side. We're in the pale heart of the Traveler, and the Witness is trying to corrupt it and control it. Speaking of the Witness, big spoiler here, raid boss. The Witness is the raid boss. So they said it's reverse Taken King. Taken King, they want everyone to fight Oryx, kill Oryx. But then the people that played the game more got to kill Oryx again, but better. And they said, this is the big bad for 10 years. We can't just kill them off in the campaign. We need people to do the raid, which is probably why they're pushing LFG so much now. That way they have it for the final shape, and hopefully it's super epic. And the way Joe is talking, it's going to be a really good encounter or encounters to kill the Witness. Of course, as you probably know if you're here, Cayde will be back in the final shape. He's our guide in this area. It's a lot of nostalgia for this, of course. But, of course, that's just kind of narrative stuff. Like, we're going to have the Vanguard back together to plan the raid against the Witness and all this stuff. But, big thing, the subjugators. They're tormentors or hive guardians. Not really either one. They look similar to Rolk, but they have stasis and strand powers. And they also said they have like arc buddies, but darkness and very mean. So yeah, that should be fun to fight. And they said they're going to be way harder than fighting hive guardians or tormentors is. So if you like hard fights like that, they're not too difficult to deal with. Maybe subjugators will be just for you. So yeah, that's about it for the stream. There is, of course, more stuff, but I tried to condense it down a lot. And this is leaving out Season of the Witch. I'll probably have a video on that tomorrow so I can get some first impressions and really soak it in a little bit before I talk about it. But yeah, that's a general overview of the final shape reveal stream. If you'd be so kind, I'd love for you to hit that like button, subscribe button, check out the pinned comment, comment your own comment even. Anyways, thank you so much. See you next time.